Hey there, YouTube. How's everybody doing? Hopefully life's treating you well. You're returning the favor. I'm smoking some of that. Because Ben the bagpiper, he didn't give it to me. He did a video, and the comment I made is, smoke what you got, smoke what you want, if you've got it, when you want it. So that's what I'm doing. Just so you can see my top knot, or lack thereof. Ran across an interesting question today. I thought I would do another question video. Some good answers on some of these. I appreciate that very much. It makes it fun for me, so. Question today is, if you had the ability to have a heads-up display, and whenever you looked at someone, it could show you 3 things about that person, what would those what would you want those 3 things to be? So when you looked at somebody, like through a magic pair of glasses, you could see 3 things about them without them knowing it, or without anybody else knowing it, I guess. It would be the same thing for everybody. So for me, if you want to think about this actually and do a VR or comment or something like that, but you don't want to be influenced by my answers, or if you don't think you'll be influenced by my answers or whatever, you can pause it, come back and watch it later and hear what I've got to say. Not that what I've got to say is anything mind-blowing or anything. Anyway, my heads-up display when I look at people would tell me the percentage of lies that they tell. You lie 0.05% of the time, or 1% of the time, 5% of the time, that would be useful information right there for me. I cannot stand dishonesty. It's probably my #1 no-no. Can't stand it. So if I could tell if a person was being honest or not, of course you couldn't tell in that moment whatever they said was being honest, but if you had sort of a standard to go by, it might make it easier. Number 2, kind of cheating on this one, but you'll see why. I'd like to see the last 3 negative things that they've done or said. The last 3 negative things that they've done or said. That, along with the truth-o-meter, would help me a long way into determining who I was coming up against. Think about that for yourself. If somebody could look at you and tell the last 3 bad things that you've done or said, what would they be? That might influence somebody's way of dealing with you. You would think the last thing I think of here would be the last 3 positive things. And that would be a worthwhile thing to have on there as well. But I think something that would tell me more about them than anything else would maybe be, what are they thinking right now? I think if I had that information available to me for every person I come in contact with, I could navigate the waters a little better. I consider myself to be a pretty good judge of people's character pretty quickly upon meeting them or listening to them talk or anything like that. So I don't feel like I'm struggling in this department, but those 3 things would be mighty useful. What about you? What would your heads-up display tell you about people? 3 things. I'm sure, I've thought of a lot of stuff about this one, and I'm sure you guys will come up with some great stuff because you're you, right? I think our answers about this might tell us a little something about ourselves too. Or each other even. So there you go. You can find this one in the playlist, discussion questions, along with everything else. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of this 5100 to see if anybody's on house party. You guys have a good night. Enjoy your pipe and ignore the hype. For crying out loud, ignore the hype.